Welcome to the Doggy Dojo. My name is Trevor Smith, and today we're diving into getting your dog ready to be on set for movies, commercials, television, you name it. But also this skill I'm about to show you guys is going to help with everyday life, with training, with dog tricks, with dog agility training, obedience, and more. So what we're working on today is go to mark. And how that's going to work out is we're going to use these toddler stepping stones. You can use a wooden block, you can use a rubber food bowl upside down, something with some good traction on top they won't slip on. What I love about these little stepping stones, they have different types of like traction or texture, so that will help him get used to different types of texture as well. This is also great for puppy training, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take this little stepping stone, we're going to put it on the ground, and our goal is to get him to put his front two paws up on here, and eventually send to this as well. I'm going to do a little search cookie search. He's going to get the cookie. And I'm going to do is see if I can get him to, yes, good boy, search. Just go back and forth, back and forth. He gets up on here. I'll shape it if I can. Yes, good boy, search. So what we're going to work on right now is just getting him to go back and forth between the two. Whoa, yes, good boy, search. And this kind of just gets him going back and forth, back and forth. Yes, good job, super. Now what I can start to do is saying, add a verbal cue to it, like say, good mark. Yes, good boy. Search. I'm using the word yes to mark the behavior of him getting on there. Yes, good job. Search. Good boy. Mark. Yes, good boy. Super. Search. Good. Dogs are just testing out the waters here. Yes, good boy. Search. Now some of you guys might be asking, what are we doing here? And the fact is what we're teaching them is basically go to a mark. And we're like, what is a mark? A mark is a place I want the dog to go to and stay until I release them from that position. So this is a very important first step for a lot of different training, and what works for set work and for like movies, commercials, and television. As you'll see, a dog walks into frame of the camera, they'll stop at a certain point and look directly at the camera. You know, that kind of thing. For dog agility, we're having them mark to the bottom of a contact. For dog tricks, we can use this to say, hey, why don't you take that skateboard and bring it all the way over to this mark? Now this is a big, bold, highly visible, off the ground visual mark, but then what you'll start to do is you'll start to, you know, put maybe a piece of tape on this or put the tape on the ground, maybe even do something that's a little more visible in the beginning. You can take like a piece of yoga mat and you start to kind of shrink down the mark. And I know personally, people that work on set this day, that when they go to set, and a lot of times there's a lot of marks on the ground for the human actors, so adding your own like doggy mark isn't a problem. So this can be really easily done for dogs to do. And what they'll do as well is if the surface is visible, they'll put the mark down, they'll do training sessions to tell the dog, hey, this is what you're doing for this particular scene. You're going to the couch right here. And then the dog knows, hey, we're going to the couch for this particular scene. So it's really cool, a lot of cool stuff. And I want to work on this with Mochi because I have some secret projects that I'm working on. And I need him to be better on set for, and even for performance dog stuff. This might be a little too soon, but the next step to this is to actually add 2 marks. You usually go here, and what will happen is you'll ask him to go to mark. Yes, good job. Go to mark. Yes, good boy. And we're only reinforcing the treat when he's on that mark. Go to mark. Yes, good boy. Go to mark. Yes, good job. Super. Awesome job. And so my orientation right now is this way, towards you, towards the camera, and his rear end's towards you. I'm sure you'd love to see him at a different orientation. I would too. So in order to get him off the mark, I'm going to go reinforce him for staying right now. He's doing a good duration right now. I'm going to go ahead and say search, tell him search cookie here, and we're going to change up where the marks are. We're going to put them maybe like this. Good job. Over here and over here. And so you just change the orientation, change the position of them, because they can get really used to going from one place to another. So what we're going to do now is say, go mark. Wait for it, see if he does it. Yes, good boy. Notice I'm not trying to repeat the command. Go to mark. One time, one cue, one behavior. Good job. Go to mark. Yes, good job, buddy. Go to Mark. Yeah, good boy. Super, super job. And now what we're going to do is work on a little duration behavior. I'm going to take a step back, add a little distance, because of course, one of the things I'm going to have to eventually be is behind the camera, and I can't be in front of the camera. And even if I go over and walk towards this other M-A-R-K, it doesn't mean to come off of this one. So I'm going to come back over here, just reminding him where he needs to be. Even if I'm going over here, my body movement towards that M-A-R-K is not an indication for him to go to that. I'm not even going to point to that. I'm just going to walk over here. And he needs to learn to stay, even if I go there, until I say, go to Mark. It's like I am on a mark. He's trying. Yes, good boy. And he'll get more accurate. He's a puppy. He doesn't actually necessarily know where his feet are in space very easily. So we're going to help him with that. Now, the other thing we can start to do eventually with this is add behaviors to it. So one of the things we could actually do is like 2 climbs, like little tables that you see me pull out here, and ask for him to do a sit on the mark and a down on the mark and all that kind of stuff. So I can ask him to, even if he comes off of it for this, it'd be hard, sit. He's like, what? How do I do that? Yes, good boy. He's trying actually to process, how do I keep my feet on here and do a sit at the same time? Because it's such a small, narrow space. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out real quickly. It's just add 1 climb to the whole mix. But other thing you can utilize as well, maybe what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and transition to like this little rubber pad. This is from Fit Paws. We're going to make this a little bit easier for him to be successful so he can do behaviors utilizing that. So I'm going to have him go and climb. I'm going to call this climb right now because this isn't a mark behavior. This is his climb or his table. I'm going to say table, so that way he knows the difference between the two. And we're going to use that little blue guy on the ground as the M-A-R-K. Go to Mark. Yes, good boy. So it's new, you know. That's fine. So what we're going to do is go back to that first game here. Search. Go to Mark. So he knows and gets lots of reinforcement from this. Search. Go to Mark. Yes, good boy. Super job. One more time. Go search. Go to Mark. Yes, good boy. Good job. Very good. All right, there it is. So now what we can do is take this little blue guy and put it onto the table. And we can come over here. Mochi. See if you can go to Mark on top of the table. This is going to be hard. Go to Mark. Yes, good job. And up here, he might actually have a bit more easier time of doing things like spin, sit, and all that stuff. So this is just those things you need to work on with your dog. You know, a good table climb stay, moving away from them, being able to get behind the camera. Right now, I'm about half the way the goal I want to be. You know, this is great, but there's not much room between me and here for a camera to fit in here. So we need to make sure that eventually that I can get all the way behind the camera, kind of like where you guys are. So can I get him to stay up there, up onto that thing, and come all the way behind camera? I'm all the way behind the camera now. And eventually I would like to also ask him to do behaviors from all the way back here, which we'll talk about in a future video as well. Right now, me, probably be right here. Sit. See? Not good distance skills. We're gonna have to work on those. We'll talk about that in a future video. So me right here, he understood the word, but he didn't quite understand what he needed to do in that moment. Good boy. You're so good. Good job. And when you're done, one of the biggest things you need to do is say free. And then we can also do something that I like to do with all my dogs after a good hard training session is get it, play. Oh yeah, and having fun. You know, it's not all about business. It's not all about the business. The business is also having fun. Good job. What a good dogger. What a good boy. What a good boy. Good job. Thanks for watching here on the Doggy Dojo. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you don't want to miss any future videos here on the Doggy Dojo about dog agility, dog tricks, set work, and more, then you need to make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next video. As always, have some fun with your dogs, and we'll see you all next time. Bye!